Do do do. Josh review. Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome to another album review with me, Joshua Smith, and today we're going to be looking at the album In the Lonely Hour by Sam Smith. This album was released May 26th of 2014. A little chart information about it. It peaked number 1 on the official charts company UK albums and number 2 on the US Billboard 200. It was released on the labels Capitol and Method, and its singles are Lay Me Down, Money on My Mind, Stay With Me, I'm Not the Only One, Like I Can, and Lay Me Down was re-released in 2015. So without further ado, let's get this started. Now, right off the bat, I'm just gonna flat out say this. I only genuinely enjoyed about 3 or 4 tracks on this album. I don't want to spoil too much at the very beginning, but I'm honestly just not a huge fan of this album. Very few things on this album stuck out to me, but let's go into that, shall we? The very first track, Money on My Mind, seemed kind of weird in its placement compared to what the album is all about, but after going through the album I kind of realized why it was that he placed it first. He's making a statement saying that this album wasn't made for money, it was made for love. He's trying to make a statement for himself right at the get-go. Why he would say this in a sense I can understand, considering what the album has to offer, but let me illustrate it for you. I'm so heartbroken, and I'm gonna make each and every song on my first album about it. Yes, literally every song on this album deals with almost the exact same thing, heartbreak, but not even in a clever or stylish way. If I could for a moment refer back to an album I already reviewed, Coldplay's Ghost Stories, that album is all about heartbreak, but it does it in a very brilliant and creative way. It tells the story of what lead singer Chris Martin was going through during and after his separation with his wife, going from things being alright to normal feelings of sadness and then going to some emotional extremes, and then it all settles down again. He realizes that as time goes on, he'll become better again. This album, this is how it goes. A song that makes a statement saying that he's not doing this for money, but for love. Heartbreak song, 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 and then at the very end, it talks about possibly getting the girl back. And see, what sets this album apart from something like Ghost Stories is that each track on this album is virtually the same story. Whether it be, I'm better than him, so you should leave him for me, or I need you in my life to survive, I love you, but you don't love me back, or I'll always be here for you, even if you don't want me to be. It all felt the same. Now, back to where I was at the beginning, the only 3 tracks in here I really enjoyed were Good Thing, I've Told You Now, and Not in That Way. And this is mainly because of the instrumentals and Sam's pure soulful singing, which is what I wish I could say for the rest of the album, but I can't. Those tracks are also lyrically superior in my opinion. They just have more to offer in relation to everything else on the album, that is. Money on My Mind, as good of a message as it has, is without a doubt the weakest track on this album, and unfortunately it's the first track you hear. This is my interpretation of this album. I don't care about money, I only care about you. But hey, I'll get you back someday. This is a soul pop R&B album, but the only song I really felt exemplified soul was Not in That Way. If the instrumentals of a song remind you of something from Motown, then you know it's soulful. Overall, this album was only okay in my opinion. A lot of it was heartbreak fluff, and while Sam's singing was pretty great, it's just the subject matter that got to me. Each track feels the same, mainly because of what he's singing about in it. There was really no storytelling, just Sam Smith singing about how sad and lonely he is. Some tracks utilize very urban R&B backing tracks and breakbeat, while some use orchestral instrumentation, so there's an element of variety, but that doesn't save the album from the lyrical pit that it falls into. I know it seems like I'm taking a huge dump on this album, but this is only Sam Smith's first album, and I'm sure as time goes on he'll mature into a better artist and perhaps write more meaningful songs and craft an album that's lyrically and thematically superior to this one. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this another review. I hope you enjoyed, even though I kind of took a dump on this album. But anyways, if you want an album to be reviewed that you like or would suggest, just leave a comment down below and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. But once again, thank you very much for watching, and so long.